Doma Sports Talk worldwide with news from the world of boxing. So y'all know what time it is. You ain't in a rush to get concussed. Now we got one of the greatest fights of all time coming up on December the 9th. And what I mean by that is, you have Olympic champions, which you've had before, but two-time Olympic champions. And both fighters fighting each other is something that you're hard-pressed to find in the history of boxing. So with that being said, this is probably one of the best fights of all time on paper when you're talking amateur pedigree. You're putting that in the equation, okay? And that's Guillermo Rigondeaux versus Lomachenko. These boys have only had about 600 fights in the amateurs and only lost about, together, maybe 12 or 13. It's a lot of talent we're talking, right? And they're going to meet at the 130-pound limit. Guillermo Rigondeaux, the smaller one, I call him Taz, explain to you why. He's coming up from 122 pounds to face Lomachenko at 130 pounds. I personally think that fight should have happened at 126 pounds. Lomachenko was there. He just moved up to 130, and I think it would just have been fair because of the magnitude of the fight and because of the things that can happen after a fight, where there would be no excuses if you meet at a weight right in the middle of both these guys. But that didn't happen. So at least we're getting the fight, right? But my man Taz Rigondeaux said something, and I'm glad. I'm glad he's not taking the high road on this fight. He used to be with HBO, with Top Rank, Bob Arum's Top Rank promotion company. And they had that falling out because he beat Nonito Donaire, who was the cash cow there. He was supposed to beat Nonito Donaire. And instead of them celebrating the guy, they blackballed him. So we've documented that on several occasions, but we're going to keep doing it so people can understand, right? And I'm glad Guillermo Rigondeaux is not taking the high road anymore. He's saying, hey, they're not going to recover from this loss again. This is going to be worse than Nonito Donaire, which is hard to do because Nonito Donaire was all that at the time. I keep saying it. A lot of people don't realize that. Nonito Donaire is still respected. So imagine what he was in 2013. It's incredible. 30-match winning streak. He beats him. He says they're not going to recover from this Lomachenko thing. And, you just notice because Lomachenko, is a great fighter and everything, but when you at Top Rank, those great fighters, will be put at the pound-for-pound best. Past all these people that have been fighting. This guy got 10 fights and a loss, and some having the number one pound-for-pound. So those are the kind of things that Top Rank will do, HBO as well. They elevate these fighters so high that the fall is a long fall when they get beat. Instead of just saying, hey, these are good fighters and let things happen and they'll automatically be up there. Right? But you hurry up and put them up there and then they fall. And where you guys at on their way down? Right? Just letting them fall down. Excuse me, you're going to fall, man. I ain't catching you. That's why I don't exalt the guys too high so that we don't have to forget about them when they lose, because it's just good fighters. Everybody's not the greatest of all time after a few months, right? So that's how that is. So those are the things is like that, and I just think the HBO, they always catering to the American market. They know what time it is, the Top Rank and stuff in the American market, right? You have to do that. What country who would vote Donald Trump as president? Who does that? He hasn't changed since he's been president. He was the same way before. It's not like it was a metamorphosis after you got in office. No, he was telling you all these things before. That's telling you what the demographic is. It's just what it is. So a guy like that, Rigondeaux, we're going to just blackball this guy. You know what I'm saying? It's because there's actually people that just don't want to see, boxes of color excel, unfortunately. And I don't understand why they don't watch snowboarding. If you watch snowboarding, you might not find us over there. The prowess of a black athlete won't be there. They don't put it inside. Might mess around and invade that too. Don't put it inside. But as long as it's out there in that snow, ain't brothers there. But if you're talking boxing, get over it. Because, you're going to be disappointed very often if that's your criteria of who you like and you don't like. We'll have to get over it anyway. I've talked about that several occasions anyway. The earth is the size of a pea. In the grand scheme of things, it's only one kind of kind, and that's mankind. That's why you guys see after some of these videos, expand your kind. That's what I'm talking about. If you expand it, sooner or later you get to mankind. And that's the only kind that counts. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, these people don't seem to have gotten the memo. And we keep having these quarrels about, color and stuff like that. And so these guys just keep getting done like this, Guillermo Rigondeaux, and it's unfair. So you have to address it. But he says he's a little bit more calm now, Rigondeaux states, because he says, after seeing what happened and going through what happened with Nonito Donaire, getting the exact opposite reaction of what you would probably expect, he's calm now of what can happen after this fight. So we don't know what's going to happen, but I'm just saying, if this guy does pull this off, this is something that we don't want to hear the silence of, like the silence that we hear about a lot of things. I'm not going to go there about Golden Boy and them emails and stuff like that, but I told you guys about those emails too. Ridiculous emails that no one has ever had to address, and the silence, but that silence is loud when you pay attention. So, whatever happens in this Rigondeaux-Lomachenko fight, we're going to have to at least acknowledge it, especially if Rigondeaux comes up 2 weight divisions and handles this guy. Like I said before, in a few days I come with a prediction video. But like I said, just to give put the cat out the bag, when 2 technicians fight, normally you're going for the bigger technician, the naturally bigger technician. And so, this one's not only bigger and younger. So there you have that. It's not who's going to definitely win. It's about this fight happening. And under these circumstances that is happening, you have a pretty large weight disparity. But, it is what it is. And I'm glad that, one of the guys stepped up to say, well, let's just do this at whatever weight to finally get it done. Because you never know. These guys might fight, and it might be close, and they might do another one. So you never know. So it's at least glad to have a fight happening that we want, that we think is worthy of being called a great fight. And this one definitely is considered a great fight. I just hope, and this is what I'm going to say one more time, because right now I'm not indifferent anymore. I told you the things that Rigondeaux has gone through have forced me to become a fan of the guy. I'm wishing him well because he deserves it. Right? He's been ignored long enough. He hasn't had many big fights, and it's not of his fault. So at some point, you care about things like that if you have empathy, and I do. So I would just like him to probably win this fight or make a very good account of himself and to be recognized afterwards. That's all. Let's not, after this fight, act like it didn't happen if he wins. If Lomachenko wins, it's also a good win because you beat Rigondeaux. Even though there's a weight issue, which, is an issue, we're not going to act like it didn't happen. It's not like, he's a bigger fighter or whatever, but it's still a great win if Lomachenko beats Rigondeaux. It's a great win. Even though he's bigger, it's still a great win, definitely because Rigondeaux is the truth. So going up into this week, we got a week coming. There are going to be a couple of videos coming your way about this fight because it's big. We've been talking a lot of heavyweights lately because that's going down with those 3 undefeated heavyweights. But this fight right here, this was probably the most significant fight of this year. So gear up, get ready. Rigo versus Loma. Let's get down. Doma Sports Talk worldwide, and I'm about to hear y'all.